V4 is there. There is one more batch also, B2. They're yet to join. Evening batch. Okay. ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಕ್ಷಯ್ ತಾನೆ. Oh, sorry. ಹರ್ಷಿತ್ ಕಳಿಸ್ಲಾ? ಅಕ್ಷಯ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಇದೆ ನನಗೆ, ಬಟ್ ಟೆಲಿಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. Tell me your number. One ನಿಮಿಷ. Your message. Shy. Okay. One ನಿಮಿಷ. ಬಂತ? ನಾನೇ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. Okay. Very good afternoon to everybody. Okay. Morning. Okay. That is like my morning. 11 o'clock starts at 11. Good. Okay. See, the very reason that these classes have been organized is from a very important observation. The observation is that when I prepared for UPSC, there was a entire coaching ecosystem. Okay, the coaching ecosystem was about we going to classes, taking classes, probably going to Delhi. From Delhi they will have classes, and after the classes coming back and studying in our houses, and then waiting for the exam and writing the exam and practice exam. That was 15 years before. And today I see the ecosystem has not changed much. It is the same. Okay. When I was studying, we never had content. For content, we had to go to people because content was not easily available. So we needed to go to libraries. We needed to go to various places to get the content. So that time there were people who had content, like psychology, only this sir will have content. Sociology, one person will have content. There was no other way to get content. But now I see content is completely available. Lot of e-books available. Everybody is taking one class or the other on the internet. You know, so understanding something I don't think is a major issue if you try a little bit. Secondly, we only had books to read from. We never had any other method to learn. Always books. And with books, you know, it is very dull. It is always white paper and black letters. Okay. So some people use it as sleeping medicine also. Night nidde bandilla andre book ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಓದಿದ್ರೆ ನಿದ್ದೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ. That was our depression medicine, sleeping pill, everything. But now you have a lot of different other ways by which you can learn. Audio visuals, documentaries, many things. Secondly, I see one major difference today, that the community is lost. People have gone into their individual self. either in your mobile phone or inside your own self. Now, when we were there 15 years before, it was community, which was everything. So we had a lot of discussions, debates, exchange of ideas and things like that. Okay. So I see today's UPSC preparation requires help in process, not in content. You might require help in content, but then more than that, what you require is help in process. Because the idea of learning itself is completely changed. UPSC has changed, technology has changed, but the aspirants and coachings have not changed. It's the same thing. UPSC has started asking questions in a very different level, but aspirants are still following the old methods. So if you don't follow the correct technique and correct methods, you will be staying back. Okay. So we thought that we should start working on the process of studying, process of learning. Simple things like how do you make notes? Why do you make notes? Simple things like how do I keep this thing in memory? Simple things like how do I keep my interest up? Okay. Simple things like how do I learn in a more effective way rather than very simple my own methodology. Okay. So we thought we will plan some major modules. This is only indicating of what we are going to see in this sessions. Okay. So we'll work on, first of all, conquering current affairs. This is the biggest problem for everybody. How do I conquer current affairs? How do I stay on top of current affairs? What is the method to stay on top? Okay. Right now, current affairs is on me. It is pressurizing me. That will include how to read newspapers, how to gather notes, how to effectively use it later. Okay. Then about time management. What are the techniques for me to manage time for myself during the exam, and how do I keep myself aware of time? Okay. Effective note making. I'm sure all of you are making notes because that is the easiest way you can go into your own world. You know, notes is like, it gives you this fake idea that you are actually following the class, but you are not actually following. You are just writing down something. Even during newspaper, 1 hour, 2 hour, you will take notes, and it will make you happy. But is there any purpose for it? Really, I'm asking you. How many of you have studied UPSC for the second, third year? First year, ellaru first year. Everybody is the first year. Nobody is the second year. Okay. So far you would have taken notes. Where is all those notes? ಇದೆಯಾ? ಇದೆ. ಯಾವಾಗ ಅದೇ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೋಡ್ತೀರಾ? ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇನ್ನು ಹೋದಾಗ ಅದನ್ನು ಕಾಣೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಯಾವ ನೋಟ್ಬುಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ರಿ ನಿಮಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲ್ಲ. Then why did you invest that time? What is the purpose? ಮತ್ತೆ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಹೇಗೆ? ಯಾವ ವಿಷಯ ಮೇಲೆ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಬೇಕು? ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ನಾವು ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಬರೀ ನಾವು +2 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ ಅದೇ ತರ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದ್ವಿ. We will do that. Then how to develop some routines and well-being, we will talk about that. This is important. This is what I call active learning. This is a learning method which is completely different from, not completely different, but very different from what you are doing right now. Okay. Many of you have been in schools and colleges which have pushed you to learn towards in a certain way. ಈಗ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗಿರೋದು ಅದೇ. UPSC requires different kind of learning, different kind of understanding. ನೀವು ಅದು ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡದೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹಳೆಯ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ರೆ you will have a lot of problems. Okay. So we will go into this active learning methods later. some people have memory problems. Long term agi hege, what are the principles behind memory? How do we keep things in memory? ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಅಲ್ಲ? Yeah. Then there are a lot of digital tools which we can utilize in current time, which will help us in our learning. We'll talk about one digital tool every day. Then essay and ethics, though we are already discussing that, I don't have to go. CSAT is something again I will discuss on what are the techniques to do CSAT and to learn. Okay. Then we will have tackling prelims, mains, and then we will have interview. So it is a wholesome classroom sessions on the process. Okay. Now, don't focus there. I just wanted to give you upfront what is lined up. Okay. Now, let's start. First, your start should happen with the understanding of the exam. Okay. This exam is for 1 year. Okay. Why on earth somebody will keep an exam for 1 year? ಒಂದು ವರ್ಷ ಯಾರು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಇಡ್ತಾರಾ? Why they should keep an exam for 1 year? Yeah, tell me. Individual? Yeah, there are many reasons, but you know very well this is not the normal thing. Exam is for 1 month. It doesn't go for 1 year. If it goes for 1 year, there should be something wrong with these people, because by the time you fail, next year will start. Okay. And then if I fail the next year will start. Then you are caught in the cycle. So this is a very unique exam. Okay. This is not like other normal exams. And this exam selects people who are ready, job ready. Okay. And the job is a generalist job. Job ready means you are already, by the time you come to the training part, you should be ready with some personality. So this exam is actually a personality test all throughout, right from preliminary to mains to interview. It is a personality test. It is going to test your personality from top to bottom. It will make you fail. It will make you suffer. It will make you very miserable. But then it will see you how you are going through all this. So first you have to understand UPSC entire exam is a personality test. Okay. So if somebody thinks I can just go sit in one room and study and pass this exam, it's not going to happen. It will never happen. If you don't work on your personality, if you don't work on what impression you present to the other one, you are not going anywhere. Let me be very clear. So UPSC preparation, 60 to 70% of that is your personality. Okay. That is where academies like this will help. Because once you go out of this academy, you will not have an opportunity to meet others. You will be on a silo. Okay. It is here where you have to develop your personality. So don't think only during interview 2 days you will try to do something and get, no, it cannot happen. Because personality will be known every time somebody talks to you, every time you write an answer, every time you write an essay. So hagagi, it's very important that you work on personality also. So in these sessions, we will also work on group activities. Okay. It is not a learning, it is not a studying kind of session. It is more working on what my thought process is. What is my understanding of these issues? What is my colleagues' understanding of these issues? Can I take something from what he said? Can I give him something? This is what this whole sessions will go on. Okay. So I will be conducting this every month, 4 days. Okay. And in my opinion, it is a good time invested. because you are learning process, you are not learning some knowledge you can always go and learn, but process you have to once for all learn before you do anything, then otherwise you will be doing the wrong processes. Okay, so my advice is please attend these classes, and it is not boring or anything, it will be as interesting as possible. Okay, so we have to understand first, this entire exam is a personality test, right? Now let us see what actually UPSC wants. Okay, 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 this is the main examinations notification. Okay, you just read what UPSC is trying to say. Okay, this is not me saying, UPSC telling. Okay, this exam is intended to assess the overall intellectual traits and depth of understanding of candidates rather than merely range of information and memory. ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದಾರೆ? You can be the human computer, no use. You can remember all dates, you can remember all everything, but no use. UPSC is not looking for that. UPSC is looking for overall intellectual traits, which means what is your overall personality. Okay, it is looking for depth of understanding of candidates. Do you have a depth of understanding on something, on the subject ide? Do you have depth of understanding on that? There is something called gender. Do you have depth of understanding on gender? They are looking at the depth of understanding of certain things. How will the depth come? Just by reading ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡ್ತದ? ಹೇಗೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ? Yes, you have to reflect your thoughts, you have to see others thoughts, you have to get give and take, ಆವಾಗ ಡೆಪ್ತ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಎಕ್ಸರ್ಸೈಸ್ ಮಾಡದೆ ನೀವು ಬರೀ ಒಂದು ನೋಟ್ಬುಕ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಒಂದು ಮೂಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತು 7 hours 8 hours ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಕೂಡ nothing is going to happen. You understand? So this is what UPSC is saying. Second, it is talking about general studies paper. The nature and standard of questions in general studies paper will be such that a well-educated person will be able to answer them without any specialized study. GS, what they are saying, it will be such that a well-educated person should be able to answer. Okay, the questions will be such to test a candidate's general awareness of variety of subjects which will have relevance for a career in civil service. Now understand this word called awareness. Okay, awareness means a person is generally aware of what is happening around them. You don't need to have expert knowledge on that, but you need to have general awareness. So general awareness ಹೇಗೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ? ನೀವು ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಕೂತು ಓದಿದ್ರೆ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತಾ? You have to again interact and move and find what other people think are important. Okay, our general awareness also comes with this work. The questions are likely to test the candidate's basic understanding of relevant issues, your understanding, basic understanding of relevant issues, an ability to analyze and to take a view on conflicting socio-economic goals, objectives, and demands. So people keep asking, can I take a stand, sir? UPSC itself is telling, it is testing your ability to take a stand on conflicting socio-economic issues, right? It is testing your ability to analyze. It is not testing your ability to provide vomit information. Okay, the candidates must give relevant, meaningful, and succinct answers. This is what UPSC is. Now my question is, what are you doing to develop this personality? ಈ ಪರ್ಸನಾಲಿಟಿ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನೀವ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರಿ? ನೀವು ಓದ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ to collect information. Here they are saying, UPSC is saying, I don't want that. But to do this, to be generally aware of things, to be analytical, to have depth of information, depth of knowledge on certain things, and to be this person who is very aware and who is there, and also taking a stand on socio-economic issues, what you are doing. That is where we fail. We fail because we don't go there at all. Just by collecting information, reading information from morning to evening, not required. ಇತ್ತೀಚೆಗೆ ಗೂಗಲ್ ಇದೆ ಸಾಕು, ಯಾವ್ದು ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಗೂಗಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ ಹೇಳಬಹುದು. ಬಟ್ ಟೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಅ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್, have you done it? What have you done? So in these sessions we will try to do that. Okay, and this will open up your learning process also. Okay, so we will be having one by one sessions on all this, and then we will slowly try to go ahead. Okay, right. Now this is something which has become very prominent in UPSC today. Okay, first of all, there is a huge push towards current affairs, which was not there when we were there. When we were there, 10 questions from history, traditional history, Bipin Chandra. 10 questions from polity, Subhash Kashyap. Word to word will be there. Okay, or DD Basu. So we used to read this much from 10 questions from geography, 10 questions. Even now they are having the 10 questions, but every question today is driven by current affairs. Even if it is polity or geography or anything, there is some current affairs behind it, and that is why they are asking that question. Because they are testing whether you are a generally aware person, which they didn't do it when we were there. That time it was simple. That time there was no focus on current affairs. They will ask very traditional questions. 1940, 1857 rebellion, who was the leader in Maharashtra? Like that. Okay, nowadays you don't get those questions, right? But your preparation is for those questions. You are preparing for those kind of questions. Okay, you are not graduating into what UPSC is expecting you to learn. So if you don't understand today, current affairs is the windows to all general studies. That is the window through which you should look at general study. Then you are not probably there. This is something which you have to understand. Then what we do is, we generally approach current affairs very passively, which means we collect information, we don't do anything. We don't even collect information. We sit, somebody throws information, you just sit there. Okay, you are not in an active mode of learning. You are basically a passive receiver of information. Okay, that is why newspaper becomes the most painful activity. It becomes a painful activity because you just open yourself in front of newspaper. Newspaper is full of information. That information is overpowering you. After some half an hour, you are not able to understand whether you should remember this, what you should do with this, where it is going to sit, because your mind is not at all actively looking for anything. Okay, so if you are a passive receiver, newspaper will become the most irritating thing you can do in the morning. Okay, that is when you will start mentally building pressure, that I am not doing anything, I am not reading. Then somebody will ask some arbitrary question which you will not know. That will give you more pressure, right? So we have to understand that current affairs is the window. Okay, next. Often you make a lot of notes with newspaper. You don't make notes. Who makes notes with newspaper? Newspaper ನೋಡಿ notes ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಯಾರು? ಅಂಡರ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಟ್ಟಿರೋದು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಲ್ಲ? ಯಾ, ಅದು ಒಂದು ಸಾರಿ ಕೂಡ ನೀವು ಉಪಯೋಗ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಲೈಫ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. 100% ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ 10 ದಿವಸ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಯಾಕೆ ನೀವು ಅದು ಬರ್ದಿದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ಬಟ್ ಏನೋ ನಾವು ಓದ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಅಂತ ನಮಗೊಂದು ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆಯಿಂದ 2 ಗಂಟೆ ಕೂತಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಹಾರ್ಡ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ಅದರಿಂದ ಏನು ಉಪಯೋಗ ಇಲ್ಲ. It's not going to help you. Okay, next. So how do we tackle this? We tackle this by these things. First of all, we develop some active interest in some issues. Okay, then we are going to increase the sources of current affairs. Okay, then we will learn some effective note making techniques, and then we will also try to learn some memory techniques by which you will have meaning to your notes, by which you will start owning up your notes, by which your notes will become your own creation, and you will have a mental picture of what you do, and that will keep adding. And when you keep adding, how many of you write journals here? Diary ಬರೀತೀರಾ ಯಾರು? ಡೈಲಿ ಇದಾಯ್ತು ಬರೀತೀರಾ? ಎಷ್ಟು ದಿವಸದಿಂದ ಬರಿತಾ ಇದ್ರಿ? ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಇಂದ ಬರಿತಾ ಇದ್ರಿ. So every year you have one diary, or how is it? ಬಟ್ ಡೈಲಿ ಬರಿತೀರಾ? ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಒಂದು ವಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಬರ್ದಿರೋದು ಅದು ಏನ್ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದೀರಿ ಅಂತ ನೆನಪಿರ್ತದ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ? ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ನೀವು ಒಂದು ಮಂತ್ ಬರಿತೀರಿ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಆ ಮಂತ್ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಆ ತಿಂಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನ್ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದೀರಿ ಅಂತ ವಾಪಸ್ ಹೋಗಿ ನೋಡ್ತೀರಾ? ಓಕೆ, ಓಕೆ. So this journal writing is also something like note making. If you don't own your journal, if you don't make it interesting, you will not remember it. So note making also requires a little bit of remembering and doing things. Okay, so this is one thing which we will start working on from now onwards, that how do we make our newspaper reading, current affairs preparation in a better way. Okay, and also we will work on all those 13 modules that I showed you, right? And also we will work on our own personality building. So I want certain things to be established upfront before I do this class. I want all of you to be serious. Can we do this? How many of you are absolutely serious of clearing this exam? I was never until my 4th attempt. Absolutely serious? ಇದು ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ? ಯಾಕೆ ನಾನು ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, there's a difference. ಇದು ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಇರುವರು ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ, ಇದು ಆಯ್ತು ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಾದ್ರೆ ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ KPSC ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಬರ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕಡೆ. I'm not saying which is bad or good. Okay, I'm only saying if you are a very serious candidate, okay, you need to work in a certain way. Okay, if you are a not serious candidate, then probably you should keep all other options open to you. You should not get stuck. Illinu illa, allinu illa, dangerous. I was telling the other class, bala jana, they have become mad. Neither there nor here. For 3-4 years they will be like that, and after 3rd year they are used to so many habits. It's very difficult to change. So my advice to you is, if you are a serious candidate, then you should be seriously working. So in our sessions, okay, we should have all the opening up of personalities. We should open up and talk and everything and have fun, but at the end of the day we should be serious. Okay, and we should be true to ourselves in these classes. If we are not true to ourselves, we should probably look at other avenues. Okay, in this class, let me put that as the primary thing. There's no compulsion for anybody to attend. Okay, but when you attend, you have to stick to certain norms of the class, because I want to engage with the serious ones. Okay, so that they go a little bit further. Secondly, This has to be a safe space for everybody. No judgment here. Anybody can talk anything, and we should talk. The first thing is that we should start talking in front of everybody without having any hesitation. And for that, all of us in this classroom should provide that ವಾತಾವರಣ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರ ಮೇಲೇನು ಜಡ್ಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇರಲ್ಲ. ತಪ್ಪು ಮಾತಾಡಬಹುದು, ರೈಟ್ ಮಾತಾಡಬಹುದು. We are all civil service aspirants. We should be in a position to accept everything and also put forward our view and also take others' view. More than putting forward our view, we should be ready to listen to others. That way you will gain a lot. Okay, this is the second major thing. I want people to be serious. I want people to be, the space to be very safe. No judgment here. Okay, and third thing, I want you to engage in everything that I tell you. It's for a purpose. Okay, and if you are planning to invest 1 year on studies, 1 year, full year on studies, please invest a little bit time on how to study. Okay, does it make sense? There's no point in investing on 1 year of studies without investing something on how to study. Okay, so these sessions are about how, not about what. What you will have other sessions, everybody will come and take. This is about how. Okay, and how also depends on your comfort zone. You should listen to all this and then take your comfort zone, try new things and work on it, work your way. Okay, so our first module that I want to start is conquering current affairs. Okay, before that, what I want to do is I want to split you into 3 groups. Okay, so what you can do is you can count from 1, 1, 2, 3, and then count from 1. Again 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we'll split into groups. Start from there. No, not 4, 1. And remember your number, don't forget. Now I'm going to ask you something very drastic. Please get up, and all the ones come front, 2 come here, 3 go occupy. 2 here, 1 here, and 3 behind. You are what? 2 here only, yes. 1 is there, 3 is behind. Yeah, happy. First time you are moving out of your place. So there is no arrangement in these classes. If you want to sit down, you can sit down. No bench arrangement at all in this class. Ideally, these classes are not conducted in benches. 3 ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಶುರು ಆಗ್ತದೆ? That's 3. This is 2, right? Okay. This much is 1, na? You are what? Pull a chair and join them. Yeah. 3 is from there, that group. Yeah. You can arrange yourself in whatever way. Okay, you can face each other, you can turn, that's not an issue. Okay, so always we will have groups in our classes because we will have group activities. Okay, today there will be a small debate on a particular topic. Okay, the group will decide on one topic. I will give you the topic. The group will decide the stand that they want to take. Okay, And then you will have to, I'll give you 10 minutes of discussion within yourselves. And this is also a good way of introducing yourself to each other. I'm sure many people would not have even said hello to your friend for a long time. Okay. So this is a time for you to say hello and also find out what that other person is, where this other person is from. Okay. And then I'll give you the topic. And in that topic, I need you to discuss and come out as a group with a particular argument. Okay. And I will call one person from the group who will have to come and articulate it in the stage on what argument you are going to discuss. Okay. The argument is an extension of what we had in the other class. We had a wonderful argument right now. And I want to really test that argument within yourselves. Okay. So the argument goes like this. You have seen MGNREGA, MG Narega. Okay. Now, two things you have to understand. When you are in a group, which is very typical of a district, if you are the deputy commissioner of your district, the rest are all your colleagues. The others are your colleagues, your own officer, your own people. Now, all of you are sailing in the same boat. Okay. Whenever an issue comes, there will be difference of opinions. Okay. But the group will have to decide in a way to come to a conclusion. Okay. Some people might agree, might not agree, but I leave what method you follow to come to a conclusion. I will leave it to you, whether you follow hand raising or whatever. But you have to come together as a group and then argue for that particular topic as a group. Okay. Right. Now, the topic is like this. MGNREGA is something which you have all seen. Now, in MGNREGA, there are two views. One view which says that MGNREGA is a very important program. It helps people who are without anything. And hence, this program should continue. Another view says, no, there is huge amount of corruption in MGNREGA and it is not achieving its set target. Okay. And MGNREGA needs to be corrected for corruption. So the argument is this. If corruption is, let us imagine corruption cannot be removed. If corruption cannot be removed, should MGNREGA continue with the corruption? Okay. Or should corruption first be handled and removed, then MGNREGA should be done? This is the argument. Okay. I give you 5 minutes for your group to discuss what stand you want to take. You can turn towards that side. First, introduce yourself. Turn. Don't worry about disturb. Turn the chair. Yeah. So 5 to 10 minutes for you to discuss what stand you want to take. Don't worry. Come. Huh? I really like the order in this group. Good. So you understood what I'm asking, right? Can MGNREGA continue with the corruption? Should it continue if corruption is, we cannot remove corruption? Or we should remove corruption and then only start MGNREGA? Question ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ? ಭ್ರಷ್ಟಾಚಾರದ ಜೊತೆಗೆ MGNREGA ನಡೆಯಬೇಕಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಭ್ರಷ್ಟಾಚಾರದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನಿರ್ಮೂಲನ ಮಾಡಿ ಆಮೇಲೆ FG ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಯಾ ಏನ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನೀವು ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಹಾ, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಕ್ಯಾಚ್. ಇಡೀ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಒಂದೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಅದು ನೀವು ಹೇಗೆ ಅದು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ ಅದು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ. So you all know each other everybody very well. See, at least tell your names, no, to each other. Hi, hello, where are you from? Huh? So you know each other very well, everybody. You introduced? Yeah, good, good. Acha, you guys know each other very well? Yes, sir. No? Introduced, okay. Good. Go ahead. Okay, done. Group 1. Who's group 1? Who's going to come? Yaar bartare? Group 1, come. Bunny. Come. Okay, guys, wind up. It's time for, now it's very difficult to finish this in 15 minutes. I know that. Okay, come. Mele bunny, come. It's very difficult to finish this, guys. Third group. Okay, rule number 3. ಎರಡು ರೂಲ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಮೂರನೇ ರೂಲ್ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ whenever one of our colleagues is ready to talk, okay, listen to me, very important rule. Whenever one of our colleagues is talking, we should give 100% attention to that person. Okay, no compromise on this. ಒಳಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡೋದು ಮತ್ತೆ ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಜೋಕ್ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, but not when one of our colleagues is talking. Okay, we will give that respect to our colleague and we will also demand that respect from everybody. Marboda? Right. Yes. Group 1 wants to conclude whatever. Before she does, I would want to say 2 things. Within 15 minutes discussing this is a difficult job. But within that time constraint, in service, we have to do many things. Okay? These are all privileges that we don't enjoy. So we have to come. This is what is the constraint. This is what we have to act. Okay? More than that, I also want to acknowledge lot of our online friends are there. They are disappointed. Probably they are not able to participate in the discussion. But next time I request them to arrange these breakout groups. Today they can watch what their colleagues have done. Next time we can put the breakout groups and they can discuss within themselves in the breakout groups. Okay, right. Okay, go ahead.
Myself Pooja, and our group stand is that we want to continue the Manrega with corruption. Means
go ahead, no
let's
problem.
continue as
this is
right now it is
Pooja,
going on.
This is a safe space.
Yes, sir. So first thing which why do we want the Manrega to continue is that mainly you see the workforce of the Manrega which is involved is mostly women. And currently the workforce of the women in the Indian sector or Indian employment, whatever organized or unorganized, it's very less comparatively. To a company to to a country to go or to develop, there is a need not only for economic development, okay, not of the GDP or something. So it's about human development as well. Human development is possible where the women are included in the whole development process also, even they are included in the economic activity and political and all the other aspect of the society. So as we are telling that it's through Manrega, women are getting empowered. They are getting empowerment means in a sense economical empowerment they are going on. And also with Manrega, they are able to handle their home finances as well as, and also they are carry on other works also, because you don't have a strict time period for the Manrega work under the Manrega. So you can finish the work and you can take care of your household work also. So there is no restraint on you that you have to be housewife. You can't because it's not 9 to 5 jobs. So you can it's like a part-time work. If you come early, finish your work early, go back and do what other works also. Okay, women empowerment, we were talking got. And also during the COVID, we can see it's like a Manrega to Manrega, the rural community were able to survive. In the rural, there is no any fixed you even if you're working in a company, they will give you salary. You have a job security. They don't have any job security. They're dependent on the agriculture and everything. Because of the Manrega, they were able to have that source of income where they can have that it's kind of a social security for them. They will have a food at least. You don't have a luxurious food. You have at least rice, common rice or pickle or something. Yeah. They were able to have at least a prop like nutritious food or some food. So, and also and it can mitigate the migration which is happening to the urban. So usually the Manrega people will prefer during the off season of agriculture. When they do agriculture, you know how the type of work. When they if you have work in a rural place, even when you don't have any agriculture thing, I don't think it will be necessary for them to come to the urban and work here. Only because of the you don't have any work, they come here and work, and they necessary for them to earn money. When I have the work in my own village or my own surrounding, I don't need to come here. And even the urban body should not work focusing on the migration work. Or we can see during the COVID, we see what was the condition. We were not ready to face that, and still we are not. And coming back to other things, it's the kind of work they are involved is, it depends more on the infrastructure, developing the infrastructure. Again, it's development of the country depends on the infrastructure. We have to have a proper infrastructure for the overall development. So they are not involved in the they are involved in the activity which is developing the infrastructure for agriculture or fishery or other kind of activities. So our group stand is that we want to continue. There is a corruption, and first we need to understand there is a corruption in all the policies. If you want to fully uncorrupt or something, you have to close every policy, and you have to for each and every policy you have to stop the corruption. For to come up with that policy, I feel in our government legislature will take more than 10 years. For that, if I completely stop this Manrega and again I want to come up with the corruption, for that again one group is going against, again going far, then lot of issues will come up. Okay, so others will be far against discussion, everything. Without there needs to be proper checks, balances which needs to be done, proper social auditing in a more transparency way, which is happening. We need to be more transparency we should need to bring up. But what I feel is that if you want to get, means our group is that corruption is there, but it will take a lot of time, and we can't affect the livelihood of the women. Okay, there is, if 100% is the Manrega, at least 60%, I don't know the number, but at least it's 20-30% also women are making use of it. Somewhere it's good, right? So if it is overall corruption is there, people are doing, it's fine. Okay, it's right, but everywhere is the corruption. So you can't affect the livelihood of other 20-30 people percent of the people, mainly women. And it's our stand.
Give a good hand. Yeah, great. G2.
Morning, people. Vignesh here.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
We are going with the corruption itself, as it is the easiest and time-saving manner for a policy to be implemented in the country. Because without the corruption, most of the fund won't release, because they are mostly not helped by the people. Yeah, as a corruption, we speak, it is less good for the people who are working in the Manrega. And furthermore, there are many informations regarding the corruption that the officers take. And lastly, there was a news issues in the Tamil Nadu too regarding this. But without a corruption, the files won't move. We all know that itself it has to be moved. But we have to take some steps for the corruption. We have to regulate the transparency of the money flowing in the government. which comes from the DC here. And the people should be aware what are the funds they are getting. Initially, this is the main point where they are forgetting to get, because of we have the best possibilities for vote. In the voting sense, at least for that power, we have to use all these things, and we have to come above from the rural areas. And as our friend said, as migration is a problem, and my friend also said, these problems should migration. It's harvesting time. Only in the harvesting time they are working. Other than harvesting time, they are simply and women empowerment, and it all should come. Basically, corruption should be erupted from this society itself. But as a now normal common citizen, I am thinking yes, corruption will sustain for another 50 more years, not even 10, 50 or 100. Whenever there is a society, whenever there is a government, whenever there is a system working, the corruption will be continued. But it should be made in less terms. It should be we officers should take control over it and make that quite corruption should be possible. We should make it quite.
So then Narega should continue with corruption, is what you're saying, or no?
Yes, Narega should continue with the corruption.
Even corruption is there, no problem. Narega should continue.
That's what, sir. Corruption is a problem, biggest problem of our country. But we have to regulate that. The regulation we have to make transferable of this account. How much the money government is allocating to us, we have to know what district and what Gram Panchayat is receiving. We have to know, and PDO officers should go and inform them. It's all the mandatory things which we are forgetting to do.
Right. Good. Give a good answer. Good. So both the groups have the similar stand that they want to continue. Let me see G3. Come. Let us see if G3 plays the villain here now. Yeah, please don't talk within yourself, please. Your colleague is standing.
Good afternoon, all. I'm Seema. I'm representing Group 3. Like as we all are humans, we are also same. So we have also gone to the thought process that we have to continue Narega with corruption. As we know that corruption is already spread like a cancer. So there is no cure as such. Now there is cure for cancer, but for corruption, there is no cure. And one more quote is that corruption is always paid by the poor. That means the poor people are the one who is suffering. But when already poor people are suffering, when we know that corruption is happening, we have to be in an optimistic mindset how we will bring the poor people into the upfront level. So now we cannot completely reduce it and start with a new thing because it is impossible at all. To be frank, it is impossible because as a leader also, as a officer also, if one level we control, the other level we will not be knowing what is happening. So it is difficult to control. So when it comes to Narega, as some of my friends said, migration problem, okay, that is also solved. Farming problem, okay, seasonal farming is there, that later next period of time, what is there, we don't know. So that is also, it is a problem. But when Narega comes, we have to see the most optimistic thing is that there is socializing. First of all, we are suffering from caste system. So when we are suffering from caste system, when this option is given, there is socializing of people where people are here coming together with the problem of economy, that is economic development. So when there is economic development, all other factors will come down. So there is the social security and most importantly, financial security also, because each of them 100% for 100 days, they're getting job. So when they're getting job for 100 days, then it is very important that this scheme should continue. Like as we said, if there are positives also, there are negatives. In my group, we literally discussed about even negatives also. So as there is negative also, but still we are standing with corruption because it is difficult to completely control it. One. Next, along with that, as an officer, it is our duty to bring out the positive system or optimistic system in people rather than highlighting the negative system itself. So here, as we said, transparency is to be included, but along with that, we have to mostly focus on the ground level. So when we are focusing on the ground level, what happens? People will get educated. Okay, there is certain scheme like this. I also have to come and do the work. So now, okay, after 100 days, like Agnipath itself, like if you think this also, after 100 days, next what? If that thought mind process also come, as we grow with the process, we also feel that we can also like do our own work. So self-employment generation will also be there. So along with self-employment generation, there will be confidence. The poor people will come, if not completely upfront to the rich people, at least they will come to the stand. There is that margin will decline. Socializing will improve. So if we only focus on corruption, then it is disaster. But even though if corruption is there, we have to make sure that along with corruption, how we will move with them and focus on the poor people, because they are the one who is suffering. So we are also taking stand that we need this scheme along with corruption.
Good. Very nice. And I should really appreciate all of you, because such a tough topic. First of all, to come in a group and to settle with a stand itself is a difficult issue. Okay. But to settle down like that and to go along with the group on certain things, when the task is given, is also a very important part of your personality. Okay. In these activities, you will not only learn many things. Now, whatever points have been told about the caste angle for Narega, how Narega is overcoming caste angle, how Narega is overcoming economic angle, how Narega might overcome political angles. Okay. These are areas of thought processes which puts you into gives you the depth of knowledge in the subject. Okay. This depth of knowledge you will not get just by reading this. Okay. So for a modern day aspirant, this depth is important. And this depth can only happen through interactions like this. Okay. Now, I really want, of course, you should give an opportunity to the dissenters. Since all the three groups have said same thing, we should give an opportunity to the dissenters who are saying, no, corruption should be dealt first. Okay. Because you will not hear the other points. That's very important to hear. Okay. So in group 1, were there any dissenters who didn't agree to the group U? Group U ಗೆ ಭಿನ್ನವಾಗಿ ಯಾರಾவது ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? Okay, ಯಾರು ಇಲ್ಲ? Yeah, please talk. You tell the reasons why you think corruption is a very important problem that has to be sorted, then only Narega can run.
ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ವರ್ಷಿಣಿ. ನಾನ್ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಕರಪ್ಷನ್ ನ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೀನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಇವಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ನೋಡಿದ್ವಿ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದ್ ಜನ ಎಲ್ಲಾರು ಕರಪ್ಷನ್ ಇರ್ಲಿ, ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಮನ್ರೇಗಾ ಮುಂದುವರಿಲಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ಯಾರೂನು ಕರಪ್ಷನ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾರೂನು ಇದ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಹೆಂಗೋ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ರೀಸನ್ ಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಇಲ್ಲ ಕರಪ್ಷನ್ ಇರ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ರ. ಸೊ ಇದೇ ತರ ಇಂಡಿಯಾನಲ್ಲಿ ಕರಪ್ಷನ್ ಅವಾಗಿಂದನೂ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಮುಂದೇನು ಹೀಗೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ
Varshini, a minute, I'll translate for you. She's saying that corruption is something, if you allow, it has been there, and if we allow it again go on like this, it will go on with forever with every program. Go ahead.
ಸೊ ನಾವ್ ಯಾರುನು ಅದನ್ನ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾರು ಇದ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಲ್ಲ. ಎಕನಾಮಿಕಲಿ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅದೊಂದು ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಇದನ್ನ ನೋಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಕರಪ್ಷನ್ ಇರ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ. ಸೊ ನನ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಅದೊಂದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ ಏನಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ರೂರಲ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ಮೇನ್ ಆಗಿ ಫೋಕಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ರೂರಲ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅಬ್ಬಬ್ಬ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟ್ ಜನ ಇದಾರೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಾರು ಅರ್ಬನ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಎಂತ ಜನಗಳಾದ್ರೂನು ಅವರು ದುಡ್ಡಿನ ಆಸೆಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಇವಾಗ ಅರ್ಬನ್ ಕಡೆಗ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದು ಜನಗಳು ಕಡಿಮೆ. ಆ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಜನಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಅವ್ರು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಕೊಡೋ ಸಂಬಳ
ಕಡಿಮೆ ಅಂತ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅನ್ಸ್ತದೆ?
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಒಂದ್ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿನಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಅಪ್ಪ ಅಮ್ಮ ಅಲ್ಲಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಮಗ ಅಥವಾ ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಒಬ್ರಲ್ಲ ಇಬ್ರಲ್ಲ ಒಂದ್ 3 ಜನರಾದ್ರೂ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿನಿಂದ.
ಸೊ ಈ ಡೇಟಾ ಒಪ್ತೀರಾ? ಓಕೆ. ಸೊ ವಿ ವಿಲ್, ಈಗ ನಮಗೆ ಡೌಟ್ ಬಂದಾಗ we should go to the data. So tomorrow Varshini will come with the data of rural versus urban. You also should come with the data. We will all see what data is the reality. Okay. But yes, there is a perception. Even I think many people are coming to urban today. Yaral illa, ನೀವು ಹಳ್ಳಿಗೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ, if you go to the village, you will only see some 3-4 old people. Youngsters are not there. They are all moved down to the urban areas. But what is the reality? What percentage of them have come to urban? And what percentage?
ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ರೂರಲ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇದಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿರೋರು ಲೈಕ್ ಬಡವರು ಅನ್ನೋರು ಇರೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಇರೋರು ಅಂತವ್ರೇನೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನ ಸೆಟ್ಲ್ ಆಗಿರೋದು. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ನಂಬಿಕೆ ಇದೆ, ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು.
So she has a point. What she is saying, whoever is now remaining in the rural areas are not the very poorest of the poor. all the poorest of the poor children, everybody are coming to, the urban areas. Who is remaining in the village are landed people who are already landlords. So they may not need Narega at all for there. That's a very valid point that she's talking about migration. It's a very important area that you should all understand how this is working now. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
And ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಮನ್ರೇಗಾ ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ವೇಜ್ ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ ವೇಜ್ ಏನ್ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅರೌಂಡ್ ನಂಗೆ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ 350 ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ
Difference.
ಓಕೆ ವಿತಿನ್ 400 ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೋತೀನಿ. ಬಟ್ ಅವ್ರು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡೋ ವರ್ಕ್ನೇ ಸಿಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಎಫರ್ಟ್ ಬಂದು ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನ ಜಾಸ್ತಿನೇ ಸಿಗ್ಬೋದಲ್ವಾ? ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಜಸ್ಟ್ 100 days ಕನ್ಫರ್ಮ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಬಟ್ ಸಿಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ 100 ಗಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಸಿಗ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಅದು ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಅಮೌಂಟ್.
Yeah, no, let's not argue. The mic will come to you and you respond, because argument nobody will benefit anything. Let her finish her points. What she's saying is, in rural areas you may not get that much of work also. So the better option is to come to urban areas, is what, job wise. Yes. Yeah, good. Go to the second group. Anybody ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಯಾವುದು ಭಿನ್ನ ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, corruption is a very important issue, we should not leave that ಅಂತ. You have without corruption. Yes, come speak. What's your name?
ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಅಯ್ಯನ್ಗೌಡ ಅಂತ, ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ
ಮಾತಾಡಿ, ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ.
ನಾನು ರಾಯಚೂರಿಂದ ಬಂದಿದ್ದು. ವಿತೌಟ್ ಕರಪ್ಷನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಈ ಸರ್, ಇದು ನರೇಗಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗ ಕರಪ್ಷನ್ ಅಂತೂ ಒಂಥರ ಹೆಂಗಿದ್ರೆ, ಕರಪ್ಷನ್ ಇಚ್ಛಿಸಿದ್ದಂಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕರ್ಕೊಂತೀವಿ ಅಷ್ಟು ಸುಖ ಕೊಡುತ್ತದು. ಬಟ್ ಅದರಿಂದ ನೋವಾಗೋದು ಯಾರಿಗಂತ ಅದು ಅವಾಗ ನಮ್ಗೆಲ್ಲ ನೋವಾಗೋದು. ಅದೇ ತರ ಅದನ್ನ ಬೆಳಕಂತ ಹೋಗಿ ಬಿಡಬಾರ್ದು ನಾವು. ಈಗ ನಾನು ನಮ್ಮೂರಲ್ಲೇ ನೋಡಿದ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಕೆಲವೊಂದ್ ಜನ ಹೆಂಗಂದ್ರೆ, ಈಗ ತಮ್ದು ಅಟೆಂಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಹಂಗೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಮೇಸ್ತ್ರಿಗೆ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅಟೆಂಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ತಾವು ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಉಳುಕಿದರೆಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಕ್ಯಾಸ್ಟ್ ವೈಸ್ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ. ಲೋ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಬಂದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವರು ಬರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಅವ್ರ ಅಕೌಂಟಿಗೆ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಈಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಅಂತೂ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇದು ಒಂದು.
Okay, what he's saying is, he has seen his own village, that the whole system works under corruption in a different way. Narega is supposed to go to the poorest of the poor, but because the system is corrupt, the people with power, they are able to manipulate the system much better. So he is talking about a social angle. So we are all thinking that money is going to the poor. What he is saying is, because of corruption, money doesn't go to the poor, and it is being taken out by somebody who is on the top. This is a very important angle. Okay, yeah, understand? Right, very good point. Yeah, come.
That time it was my team stand. Now my stand. Corruption should be removed, because a woman, a child, and all will be child will be nutrient if the money goes in proper way.
No, let me just reframe the question properly, because there's no question that corruption should remain or not. The question is whether Narega as a program can run with corruption, or should corruption stop and then only Narega start?
Corruption should stop, because proper money will go to the people and they will be elevated from a lower level to upper level. Without corruption, Narega should run. This is my stand.
Yes, good. Any point you have, third group, come in support. Come this side.
ವಿತೌಟ್ ಕರಪ್ಷನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ
Introduce yourself.
ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಅಭಿಷೇಕ್ ಅಂತ. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ಕರಪ್ಷನ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅದು ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಕರಪ್ಷನ್ ನೀವು ಎಜುಕೇಟೆಡ್ ತರ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಅನ್ಎಜುಕೇಟೆಡ್ ತರ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ. ಈಗ ನೀವು UPSC ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಆ ತರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀರಾ, ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತೀರಾ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ. ಒಂದು ಏನ್ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಕೀಮ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ನರೇಗಾ ಅನ್ನೋ ಸ್ಕೀಮ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಪ್ರೀ ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು ಮೊದ್ಲಾಗ್ಲೇನೆ. ಇದು ಬಡವರಿಗೆ ನೇರವಾಗಿ ತಲುಪಬೇಕು. ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಧಾನ ಮಂತ್ರಿ ಅವರು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ 2000 ಮಂತ್ಲಿ ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ 3 ಸಲ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ರೈತರುಗಳಿಗೆ. ಆ ತರ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಈಗ ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ಜಿಲ್ಲಾಧಿಕಾರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ, ಜಿಲ್ಲಾಧಿಕಾರಿಯಿಂದ ಸಿಇಒ ಹೋಗಿ, ಸಿಇಒ ಇಂದ ಪಂಚಾಯತಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಅವರು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿವೈಡೆಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ 2,000 ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ 1,000 ಹೋಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅವ್ರ ಅಕೌಂಟಿಗೆ. ನೀವ್ ಈ ತರ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿ. ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ಒಂದು ನರೇಗಾದಲ್ಲಿ 350 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಕೂಲಿ, ಅದು ಒಂದು ದಿವ್ಸಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ತಿರ್ಬೇಕು. ಅವ್ರು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದಾರಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಆಪ್ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಇದು ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕವಾಗಿ ಆಪ್ ನ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಒಂದು ಆಪ್ ನ ಯಾವ ತರ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ಅವ್ರು ಥಂಬ್ ಇಂಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ಅದು ಒಂದು ಬೆಟರ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ ವಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಷ್ಟು ಕೆಲಸ ಆಗಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಫೋಟೋ ಹೊಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಒಂದು ಮೆಜರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಕೌಂಟಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು ನೀವು ಎಜುಕೇಟೆಡ್ ಆಗಿ. ಈಗ ಅವ್ರು ಕರಪ್ಷನ್ ಜೊತೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಈಗ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಸರಿ ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ ಇವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಕೊಲಿಗ್ ಅಂತ, ಅವರು ಬೇರೆ ಬಂದು ತಂಬ ಹಾಕ್ಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಬೇರೆ ಅವ್ರ ಅಕೌಂಟಿಗೆ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ. ವಿತ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಆಗೋಂಗೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಒಂದು ಆಪ್ ನ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಅಕೌಂಟಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ನಾವು ಒಂದು 50,000 ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾರಿಗ ಹೋಗಿದೆ, ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಖರ್ಚಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಅಕೌಂಟಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಒಂದಿನ ಯಾರಿಗೇನೆ ಆದ್ರೂ. ಸುಮ್ನೆ ನಾವು ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ, ಒಂದು ಆಪ್ ನ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಜನಗ ಅನ್ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ನಾವು ಸುಮ್ನೆ ಒಂದು ಆಪ್ ನ ತಂದು ಬಿಡ್ತಿದೀವಿ, ಒಂದು ಸ್ಕೀಮ್ ನ ತಂದು ಬಿಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಖರ್ಚು ಎಷ್ಟಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ವೆಚ್ಚ ಎಷ್ಟಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯಿಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ನಿರುದ್ಯೋಗ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫೈ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಸುಮ್ನೆ ಒಂದು
ಸೊ ಯು ವಾಂಟ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪರೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಸರಿ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಕರಪ್ಷನ್ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ನರೇಗಾ ನಡೆಯಬಾರದು. ರೈಟ್, ಗುಡ್. ಎನಿ ಅದರ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್? ಕಮ್ ಫಾರ್ ಇನ್ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಕರಪ್ಷನ್ ಇರಬಾರ್ದು, ಕರಪ್ಷನ್ ನಿಲ್ಸಿದ ಮೇಲೆನೆ ನರೇಗಾ ನಡೆಯಬೇಕು.
ಯೋಗೇಶ್ ಅಂತ, ಐ ಆಮ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಮಂಡ್ಯ. ಕರಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ದೇನೆ ನಾವ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು? ಪಾಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಇದೆ. ಹೇಗೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಹಂತದಲ್ಲೂ ಕರಪ್ಷನ್ಸೇ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಮಾಡಿರುವಂತಹ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಏನು? ಮನೇರೆಗ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಇರುವುದೇ ಮೈಗ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ನ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ತಮಗೆ ಅವಶ್ಯಕವಾದಂತಹ ಮೂಲಭೂತ ಅಗತ್ಯವಾದಂತಹ ಸೌಲಭ್ಯಗಳೇ ದೊರೆಯದೇ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ತಾವು ವಲಸೆ ಹೋಗುವುದು ಅದು ಸಾಧ್ಯವೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬರು ಸಹ ತಮಗೆ ಮೂಲಭೂತ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇಂತ ಒಂದು ಹಲವಾರು ಯೋಜನೆಗಳು ದೊರಕಿದ್ರು ಸಹ ಆ ಯೋಜನೆಯಿಂದ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯಾದ ಅನುಕೂಲ ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತದ್ದು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಇದು ದೊರೀತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅವರು ಮೂವ್ ಆಗುವಂತದ್ದು ಖಂಡಿತ. ಹೇಗಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕರಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಹಂತವಾಗಿ ಕರಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಅದನ್ನ ತರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಮೊದಲು ಯಾರು ಇದನ್ನ ಸ್ಕೀಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೋ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದಲೇ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪರೆನ್ಸಿ ಬೇಕು, ಅಕೌಂಟಬಿಲಿಟಿ ತರಬೇಕು. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ಡಿಮ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಈಗ ನನ್ಗೆ ಯಾವ್ದೋ ಟೆಂಡರ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ನನ್ಗೆ ಅದು ಫ್ರೀ ಆಗಿ ಸಿಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಟೆಂಡರ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೇನೆ ನನ್ಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ಕೊಡು, ನಿನ್ಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಅಂದಾಗ ಅವ್ನು ಹೆಂಗ್ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ? ಅವನು ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರನೇ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ತಗೋತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಸಹ ಅವನೇ ತಗೊಂಡೋದ್ರೆ ನಾನೇ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಬಿಡ್ಲಿ, ಅವ್ನ್ ಥಿಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಅವ್ನ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಕೆ ನನಗೆ ಥಿಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಬಂತು. ಈಗ ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ ಯಾರೋ ಒಂದ್ 5,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಇಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಒಂದ್ ಟೆಂಡರ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಒಂದ್ 70,000 ಟೆಂಡರ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನನಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ ಯಾರೋ 5,000 ಇಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ನನ್ಗೂ ಹಂಗ್ ಮನ್ಸು ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ, ನಾನು ಯಾಕೆ ಇಸ್ಕೋಬಾರ್ದು? ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ ಅವ್ನು ಇಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾನಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ನಾನು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕಲ್ಲ. ಈ ರೀತಿ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭಿಕ ಹಂತದಲ್ಲೇ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಭ್ರಷ್ಟಾಚಾರ ಎಂಬುದು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಬೇಗ ಮೇನ್ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಇರುವಂತದ್ದು ಲೋ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ಸ್ಗೆ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಉದ್ಯೋಗ ದೊರಕುವಂತವ್ರಿಗೆ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ನಾವ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಉದ್ಯೋಗಾವಕಾಶಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಮೂಲಭೂತ ಅಗತ್ಯಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಸರ್ವೈವಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಹಂತದಲ್ಲೇ ನಾವ್ ಈ ತರ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಸರ್ವೈವಲ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯನೇ ಆಗಿರಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹಣ ಮಾಡುವ ಉದ್ದೇಶವನ್ನು ಒಂದೊಂದು ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಮೊದಲು ನಾವು ಪ್ರಾರಂಭಿಕ ಹಂತದಲ್ಲೇ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ಮೊದಲು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪರೆನ್ಸಿ ಆಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು, ನಮ್ಮ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಏನು ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಆಗಿದ್ದಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರ ಯಾವ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಟೆಂಡರ್ ತಗೋತಾನೋ ಅವನು ಸಹ ಆ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ. ಅವ್ನು ಥಿಂಕ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಅವನು ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅನಿಸ್ತದೆ. ಈ ರೀತಿ ಹಂತವಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಭ್ರಷ್ಟಾಚಾರನ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತದ್ದು ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗೂ ದೊರಕುತ್ತದೆ ಸೌಲಭ್ಯ ಅನ್ನೋದು.
Yeah. So what point he is making is that corruption is it percolates. One stage, the top is corrupt, then the next stage is corrupt, the next stage is corrupt. So this corruption is not a very simple thing. It might look very simple that it has only simple effects. No, it has very multiplier effects on many levels. So it's not just about we say corruption in NREGA is okay, but that corruption actually flows from the top, and then it affects a lot of the span of that is very high. Yes, excellent points and very important points from both sides. Yeah. Yeah. So overall, you understood this point that when we say corruption and NREGA, we assume that NREGA will work well with corruption, but that may not be that may be a questionable argument, because if there is corruption, then NREGA may not work. So have this point also in your mind. At the same time, I would also, yeah. Nanda. Oh, Nange Madidira. I have joined from this. Oh, you want me to mute? Okay, sorry. So the other point that you have to understand is that NREGA, with all this, with all the problems, it serves a very important purpose. Okay. And what is NREGA? That you have to understand. So I am not going to teach you what is NREGA, but we had some discussion today. You had some thought process on what NREGA was. Now your mind is open on this topic. Now tomorrow or day after tomorrow or the coming month also, you hear more arguments. This will go and sit in your brain much easier. Okay. It will not be a new thing for you. Now your mind has started looking for information about NREGA. This is what I call as active learning. Now your mind will be actively tuned towards arguments on NREGA. Okay. Counter arguments and arguments. Okay. But at the same time, we will also have to understand why, this varied impression is coming. It will take a lot of time for us to, understand all these, grasp all these aspects. Okay. So now I want to tell you two things about what we did now. Nandu share ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ? ಅಲ್ಲಿ share ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ? This is what it is. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now, this is how your paper one. Oh, this is your entire UPSC. Okay. Am I right? Yeah. 300 marks English essay, GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4, optional 1, optional 2. Now you have a problem, in my opinion. GS1, GS2, GS3. This is the whole ambit of general studies. Now half of your trouble will be from this portion. How to conquer this? This somehow, if you study, is okay. Okay. And this is ethics. This is also okay. But this GS1, GS2, GS3 is something which you have a problem, and half of the problem which you talk about is from these three papers, because these three papers give this span of entire current affairs and general studies on. Okay. Now, first of all, my opinion is start understanding what these three things are. Okay. Today we discussed one issue, NREGA. This is actually collection of such issues. All the three topics are collection of such issues. And where do you find this collection? Syllabus. If you go to syllabus, you will find it has only these issues listed. So today you did something about NREGA. If you are able to take up every issue and focus on that, not worry about general standard books, not worry about prescribed books and all that, and do some research about those issues and get some knowledge, good or bad, right or wrong, get some knowledge about those issues. That is your first step. You have one iteration, you have done your syllabus. You understand? Once you do this once, you will start sitting on top of general studies. Otherwise, general studies will always sit on top of it. And you will feel the load of general studies slowly. Okay. Now, what do I mean? Now you start structuring the general studies or current affairs topics as issues. Whatever topic we get in syllabus, I'll show you how I have listed it out. Everything you boil down to some issue. So at the end of the day, you will have 100 issues, that's all. And if this 100 issues, you have your own opinion and knowledge, little bit of knowledge about these issues, you will be able to write a mains answer. Okay. You understand? Now I'm giving you a method to conquer current affairs. Okay. Now we need to first of all have a robust note making technique. So now we discussed all this. We had 4 points from here. What do I do with that? What you will do is you'll write in your notebook somewhere and you will lose it. After 1 week, you will lose it. Tomorrow there will be some discussion coming about Narega or some question about Narega. You will want to refer, you remember that you have written it somewhere, but you will not know where it is. So somewhere you should have one very good note making technique, which you will be able to quickly go back and add on or subtract. You should know where this subject is and where you have written earlier, what I should add, what I should subtract. Please understand, we are not looking for data. We are not looking for information. We are looking for depth of knowledge in the subject. Now, what we discussed today, did anybody give any data? Did anybody give any information? All were talking about understanding of corruption, understanding of Narega. Okay, so this is what you should focus on. And no standard books gives this. And all your preparation will be on information only. There's no purpose of information. Okay. Next, we need to access and regularly prescribe to multiple sources. This is one source. Today, what we did is one source. We have many sources. We have documentary films. We have debates, online debates. We have clubhouse debates. There are many things going on in this world which will give us information. So we cannot restrict ourselves to one book. We should open up ourselves to many sources. That will do two things. Today, did anybody feel like sleeping? Otherwise, at least 10 minutes sleep. I know that. It was interesting. You didn't sleep. Similarly, if you watch a movie, a documentary, you will not sleep. You will feel happy. You will feel it is not work. You will feel it is play. And you will feel like working more and more on that. That is making your work like play. That is preparation with interest. Otherwise, preparation will be pain. Okay. So open up these sources. Okay. We need to frequently debate and discuss to create interest in the topic. There are 100 topics in your general studies like this. If you take 4 topics a day, you will complete the syllabus in 1 month. I can guarantee you. I have made people complete syllabus in 4 days. You can do that. You don't need much. Who will tell me how much I have to study? If I study and write something about Narega, that's all. Now, whatever discussion I made about Narega, for me, that is all. I'll go to the next topic. So if I start understanding these 100 topics I need to study, I need to make my own research, I can complete the syllabus in 1 month. Come to the second round of preparation. You understand? But what you will do is, you will stick to some standard books and you will try to complete that book. That will take 4 to 5 months. That is not UPSC is asking you. UPSC never told you go and read Bipin Chandra top to bottom. UPSC only said this topic I will ask. You can read it from Google also. You are big deal. You can also discuss with somebody. So open up to those ideas. Okay. We also need to organize our thoughts. Without organization, thoughts will not come back again. Whatever you gain, you should fix it to some place. Whatever you gain, whatever you read, you should fix it. That fixing to some place is very important. In your notes, you don't do that. Once today you will write about Narega. After 1 month, you will hear somewhere there again. You will another note you will write. You will not club this. We need to find a way to club these things into one note. Okay. We also need to understand how we remember things. What is our mind? How it works? What it remembers? What it doesn't remember? So some techniques of remembering also we need to understand. Okay. We need to constantly form opinions and be ready to change them in case we should. Okay. Today we form some opinions. These opinions are your memory cues. You should always form opinions in subjects, not just knowing what it is, but this is my stand, this is my stand, this is my stand. That is where you should end. That is when your memory will also survive. But with the rider that you should be ready to change it when you require. You should always be like that. Always be a learner, not be fixed to some opinion. I have been a deputy commissioner for 3 districts. I'm still learning. I'm still ready to change my opinions, but I have my opinion. Both should be there. If you don't have an opinion on something, which means your preparation is not ready. You should have an opinion and you should change it if you get convinced the other person is right. Okay. Then finally, focus on empathy and emotions. Don't focus on technique, focus on emotions. And that is what will give you more memory. You will only remember emotional things. You will only remember where you're involved. You will not remember where you have sat for 20 hours. You will not remember that. But wherever you are emotionally involved, you will remember that. Okay. In the coming days, maybe tomorrow there is a class. I will teach you a practical technique to make notes which will help you. To make notes which you will never forget in life. And you will be eagerly looking at every day's paper to make notes. Because that note making process itself is going to be a very interesting process for you. That will also do one more thing. It will help you organize your syllabus. It will help you remember your syllabus. It will help you organize your mind to search for some 100 things which you will complete. And if you follow this method, in my opinion, 1 month is the maximum you should take to complete the syllabus. ಒಂದು ತಿಂಗಳ ಒಳಗಡೆ ನೀವು ಜನರಲ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡಿ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅಡಿಷನ್ 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 ಅಡಿಷನ್. ಬಟ್ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಕಾನ್ಕರಿಂಗ್ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಅಫೇರ್ಸ್. ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಸಿಟ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್ GS 1, 2, 3 ಆರಾಮ್ಸೆ. You can focus, start focusing on options. Okay. So these, if you are paying for coaching, if you really want to crack this exam, please understand this is important. Not you sitting in one corner. I tell you what you will do, because I have done that. What you will do is, sitting here, you will think that half of what they are talking, I'm not understanding. So probably my learning is less. What you will do is, you will go to a room and take one corner, and you will think that I will sit there and read everything, because I am not up to them. They are much more, know much more things than me. First, I need to learn certain things. Trust me, this process will never get completed. You will always feel that you don't. Okay. The same mistake others do. They never practice exam saying that if I write the test now, I will get bad marks. I can't see myself bad marks, so I won't write it now. I will write it after I read everything. That also will never happen. Okay. So we have to quickly go into practice sessions. Before that, we need to put our process ready. How do we make notes? How do we learn? And how do we form opinions on what is right? If we do this, I think there's a great chance that we will go through this year only. Okay. But if we don't do this, and if we go this traditional way of sitting in one corner for 14 hours, 15 hours, you are going to spoil your health and your family's health also. Okay. You're understanding what I'm trying to say? Okay. So far, what we have learned and what methods we have learned in colleges and schools is not going to do any good in UPSC. In UPSC, we require a different approach. So my purpose is to teach you that approach. Please learn it. And then for years together, you can move forward and practice and grow. Okay. So finally, I just want one or two of you to tell me, how did the group discussion feel? Very open, one or two, one from each group. Just tell, how did it feel? Just talk your mind. What feeling you had when you had the group?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, no, from there only.
Sure. Definitely, it was wonderful experiences, and whatever we discussed till now, definitely it will help to writing in examinations in a practical manner. And
Genuine feeling.
yes, sir. And whatever people is there in our group, we throw our own view of thoughts, and lastly we collected everyone thought, and finally we summarized in front of you, sir. And definitely whatever we spoke in front of you, it will experienced, especially I'm from village, and I have a lot of experiences in MC Narega, especially somebody was told regarding the socialism. Even I am from village, and my family and I too involved in MC Narega work with my family members, and this socialism concept I really understood now, because while working in MC Narega scheme, while working, people dancing with each other and singing with each other, and somebody will come and feed them water, and somebody will come and feed them food, and at the end of the work somebody will come and feed them as a tea. So this kind of socialism we will get to see in village community via MC Narega scheme.
Very nice. Very lovely. Give him a good
And-
hand. These
and-
are things you don't hear unless you meet somebody who has been there. Yeah.
And this MC Narega scheme, especially in village areas, so many people will suffer from a lot of diseases, and so many people will die with suffering from a lot of malaria, typhoid, and some chikungunya diseases and all, because lot of lack of hygiene. With the MC Narega scheme, we can able to clean our pond, and we can able to clean our drainage system in village areas. So with the hygienic, we can able to, and it will help to improve our hygienic and health.
Great. We should discuss more about Narega, but I want to restrict it to how you felt in the group.
Yes, sir. Definitely. So it's like wonderful experience, and this kind of discussions will definitely help to summarize, memorize a lot of fact, and it will help to write in examinations and the interview process also.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
One from that group.
Sir, according to whatever discussions we had, personally, in my opinion, I felt it is very good. Actually, we were interacting. There was no ego system as such. We vocally put our positives also. They vocally put their negatives also. And we supported. And at last, we stood as a group. So that made me really happy. And also, there was like, nobody tried to fade themselves, sir. Everybody started giving their opinion. And we got to know like how the other person is feeling, like how their thinking process is going on. That is what I felt. And along with that, I also felt that there is like in my group, I felt that there is chances for group discussion, and also there is chances for listening also, because if especially if I was speaking, if they were speaking, we were listening. So there was transfer of ideas also. So I felt it was very nice, and it's a good initiative to make friends also and to understand each other also. I really felt that my group was really good.
Super. Very nice. Very good. You speak. No. If I call you for the interview, you will say no. UPSC interview. Express your opinion. Nobody listened to me, sir. They all were speaking back, Kannada. Nobody gave me any space. Yeah.
Firstly, I am Pooja. I'm from Mumbai. So firstly, मैं यहाँ पे तो नहीं जानती थी किसी को. So today आज जब आपने बोला कि एक दूसरे को introduce करो, so now I know their names and all. So जो आपने बोला उसका corruption के बारे में और new ideas भी मिले सबके बारे में.
But they didn't translate it fully. Yeah. Okay. So remember the 3 rules that we have. Okay. It's always important for us in the group or wherever we go that everybody is better off. Okay. That we have to be very conscious. It will not come naturally for us. Naturally, we want to talk. Consciously, we can do many things. In civil service, if you are natural normal, you will become corrupt automatically. Consciously, you have to stay outside. Okay. Many things you have to do consciously as a civil servant. Okay. Consciously, you have to be following certain things. So that is something which we'll try and learn as we move forward. Okay. All the very best. It was a wonderful session. Thank you.